for no hero. This ain't no place for no better man. This ain't no place for no hero to call home. Yummy, yummy. Jelly. It's nasty. Yeah, the government doesn't like the fact that the pharmaceutical industry was losing money. They create them, so they shut that shit down. Ain't no place for no hero. This ain't no place for no better man. This ain't no place for no hero. Call home. What you doing, Tootsie Moo?
Since they always seem to flop, flipping out and acting foul, yet filming lawlessness is not these pigs in the silent column where you point out the X factor, acting like you're buying vowels with their eye-opening disaster. It's unfortunate they're
Oh, I got two people. Somebody call the ADL. Hey, what's going on here? I thought we weren't supposed to be letting this guy have his viewers. There we go. That's better. Cactus up their ass. That has to hurt. No one hides their sense of pride when rounding up the math. This pig pulls his gun. We all the way home. It's looking like we're gonna have a really short beat today.
It's entertaining. It's no lie or something secret. That these guys love to beat the shit out of young black and red males. They're not even without these butt cracks lust prevails for busting up the sails of ships just passing in the night. They love to stuff the jails jam-packed, then gas them.
Then Gaslight, who gets in fights like in the sun.
It's funny how they make their money fucking up your life, where you trust that they'll be nice when they're roughing up your wife. Then they call you names and you refrain from running for the knife and cutting them a slice of the big car you're encased in. It's disgusting how they lie and parade how they're forsaken, yet not discussing why, since that way is taken by the judges on their side, who's there vacant. But the camera takes the bait they questioned off the uneven table. That's a drama situation. This pig knows I write. This pig says that he had have known. This pig always picks a fight when filming it. This pig likes this white wild. And something went wee. I hate cops as much as they hate accountability.
I hate cops as much as they hate accountability. James Zephyr. You dropped something. Yeah. Youth in the fire.
Compensating for their ownership areas.
Should have picked that thing up. Remember when people used to take street signs and shit? That was a cool thing to do. So I wanted to do this.
Cameras. And this little thing went wee.
No more pities.
Until I start seeing these mysterious good cops out there arresting the bad cops, I'm gonna go ahead and say they're all bad cops. EBG.
Oops. We put in Wiki. Pull up Wiki. All right, pull up the thing. Go ahead and hit play on Rabbi Finkelstein.
Now serving number 33.
You're drunk blood. Were you trying to say bud or blood? Why are you drunk? What time is it where you are?
We've already called the wambulance.
Being drunk sucks. You'd be dead if you drank 2 liters of vodka. Nice try.
Would it be smart to spam murder only focused on right now, with no concerns for down the road and what you eat until you're running around like a clown asking everyone?
List of people with the most children.
If you wanted to repeat the burger process through the years,
Yeah, this part is fucking crazy. So, yeah, 69. That would be, I got the bottle right here. Dead on sure. It's 6:30 a.m. So, what are you still drinking in California? Still drinking from last night?
They manufacture every gear in the machine that's always calling Goyim cattle, so it's appalling when you
drinking's gross.
understand that there's genocide
So it's really interesting. So the person that's on record with the most kids is from 1765. Then you have Mr. and Mrs. Killarov with 57 kids from 1755. You have Barbara and Adam Stratzman with 53 kids from 1498. Then you have Miriam Natabazi Barbary from 2016. So she's the only modern person. I can't smoke because of probation. So, I mean, this is such a prime example of why the system doesn't give a fuck about people. There's most people that get put on probation because of weed. That's what happens. They start drinking a lot more, or they start, smoking spice and stupid shit like that. I can't believe people are still getting busted for weed, though. It's weird. The idea that somebody wants to smoke pot, it's just shouldn't be a problem. So listen to this. Miriam Nabatanzi. Her last name is Babirye, and she has the most babies in modern history. Babary, also known as Mama Uganda or Mother Uganda, is a Ugandan woman known for birthing 44 children, 38 of whom are still alive. As of March 2025, her eldest children were 33 years old, and the youngest were 8 years old. In 2015, her husband abandoned the family, reportedly unable to support so many children. Born around 1980. Interesting how we don't know when her birth year is. 1980, around 1980 could be anything. Gun charges. Well, that's fucked up. I mean, and of course it's helping you, right? Yeah, are you on the JAMS program or whatever they call it where you are? Now they fucking extort you. You gotta go maybe every day for drug testing, every day for drinking, like it's fucking crazy. I would imagine if you got your number called today, you'd be kind of fucked, huh? So Barbary was born, born around 1980. Babary, I don't know. First gave birth when she was 13 years old, having been forced into marriage the year before. At 12. God, that sounds really familiar. But I thought that was, this is a black woman. This is a Ugandan woman, right? Locked up 6 times. You've been locked up 6 times? Sounds like you don't give a fuck about the system. Yeah, the color. You got to call and see if the color is called. Well, I'm not going to keep talking to somebody who isn't going to remember it anyway. If you're only 16, how could you have been locked up that many times? You're only 16. Why are you drunk? On 2 liters of vodka, it's 16. Where the fuck are your parents? By the age of 36, she had given birth to a total of 44 children, including 3 sets of quadruplets, 4 sets of triplets, and 6 sets of twins, for a total of 15 births. Don't you think you would have heard about this, broad? 3 sets of quadruplets? That's fucking crazy. The number of multiple births was caused by a rare genetic condition causing hyperovulation as a result of enlarged ovaries. In 2019, when Bayberry was aged 40, she underwent a medical procedure to prevent any further pregnancies. According to Bayberry, her mother abandoned her family and 5 brothers 3 days following her birth. When Bayberry was 7 years old and was away visiting a relative, her stepmother mixed cut glass into the food of her older siblings, as a result of which all of them died.
You're disgusting pedophiles. The reduction of the cucks who are fustigating lives.
It's amazing how often stories like that exist, so you can't like interview family and figure out whether there's truth coming out or not. There's that hawk.
If you want some credibility,
What is going on in that yard?
show your face that everyone
That's fucking
can
crazy.
see.
Scream for us, hawk.
Tell the people
Are all the other birds gonna get mad at you here in a minute like they usually do? Oh, there's another one over there. Up there. Wow. It's a red-tailed hawk. If that thing dive bombed me right now, I would be scared like shit. Thing's huge. I guarantee it's so much bigger than we think. Its wingspan is probably as big as mine. Okay, a random sea flying through the air. Gotcha. That's interesting.
Show your face so everyone can see.
In 1993, she was born around 1980, but in 1993 she was 12 years old. How do you fucking know that? She was married off to a physically abusive 40-year-old man who was polygamous and already had multiple other wives. Her father-in-law gave her family a piece of land to support themselves, and at the age of 13, she gave birth to twins before giving birth to triplets 2 years later, and then a set of quadruplets a year and a half later. She did not find this unusual, as multiple births were quite common in her family, saying, "My father gave birth to 45 children with different women, and these all came in quintuplets, quadruplets, twins, and triplets." Strange. You would think this would be a big fucking story. After her 6th delivery, she approached the doctor about having no more children and was told that, quote, attempting to stop her from having another child would lead to her early death. Well, this is 19 fucking 2000 by then, right? Her first kid was in 1993. So by the time she had her 6th kid, you would think it's, roughly. I mean, again, you're only able, even somebody with hypoovulation is only apparently having kids at 2 years old or 2 years apart. Anything more than that is just too much on the body. So that when you hear Rabbi Shmuley, I hate referring to him as that. When you hear about Shmuley's bitch ass parents, supposedly he was the youngest of 5 children. After his mother had taken a break from having children, after his parents had taken a break from having children, he was born when she was 24 years old. That's what he says. He's the youngest of 5. So taking a break would mean at least 3 years. I'm assuming he means 3 years. because that would just make things worse if it was longer than 3 years. But then if his next oldest sibling was born to his mother when she was 21, now add 8 years on top of that for the 4 kids, right? Pregnancy every 4 years. And you have a girl who's 13 when she starts having children. And he admitted that his father is at least 10 years older than his mother.
How much does tomorrow hold for the folks on the back of the bus? If you were told to swallow the load, would you finally be sold? It's a must. The Pisces mold's outdated and old. The golden age is us.
It's a great book. Uh, 2015, Barbari's husband abandoned the family, unable to provide for 42 children, but not before leaving her pregnant with twins. So, she is... This is a list of more than... This list of women said to have given birth to 20 or more children, and men said to have fathered more than 25 children. This section lists mothers who gave birth to at least 20 children. Numbers in bold and italics are likely to be legendary or inexact, some of them having been recorded before the 19th century. Due to the fact that women bear the children and therefore cannot reproduce as often as men, their records are often shared with or exceeded by their parents. Exceeded by their parents? So the number one story is from Valentina and Fyodor Vasilyev. But at this point in my life, you tell me a story that's supposedly from 1765, and I just don't buy it. Valentina Vasilyev, 1707 to 1782. So the chick that was born in in modern times, 1980, we don't know we know it's around 1980. But this chick from the 1700s, we know she was born in 1707. This is irritating and weird. Was a woman from Shuya, Russia. She was the first wife of Fyodor Vasilyev, who was said to have fathered 87 children, 69 with Valentina between 1725 and 1765, 16 pairs of twins, 7 sets of triplets, and 4 sets of quadruplets. According to Guinness World Records, this is the world record for the most children born to a single man. What proof do we have of that? Like, that's just dumb. That's fucking dumb. And how? How were they even beginning to facilitate this? How was this woman's body able to handle 4 sets of quadruplets? It's not like we're talking about C-sections. These are all vaginal births. Her shit had to be calloused like a motherfucker. I just don't buy this. I'm sorry, I don't buy this. Life and death. Vasilyev was born in about 1707, possibly in Shuya, Ivano Oblast in Russia. Oh, so now we're going with it. Might not be. Vasilyev gave birth for the first time in 1725, so at 13 years old, in accordance with friar traditions.
He's got those pockets. Yeah.
You notice a very similar narrative in all this, right?
My hair isn't flat. In fact, it sticks up out great. like Die King and Buckwheat's Impossible Baby. Yeah, maybe I've heard that one before. And sure, there are tours of much more attractive
Between the years of 1725 and 1765. For 40 fucking years.
for at concerts. And I don't believe in heavenly monsters.
I mean,
Put those jabs in my mouth.
how is she still having kids?
I'm completely untouched by religion.
In 1765,
My gas tank's not full since
she's
I broke.
fucking almost 60 years old.
Friends can't stand me. I'm not very handy or manly.
It's like 58 years old, right?
I bury my fight by the day.
Yeah,
What
58
else can
plus
I
7,
say?
7.
This is a
How is
pretty
she
simple
supposedly
mess,
having
but
children at 58 years
I
old?
don't have a great smile. Meanwhile, it kisses no Cranbrook ass. In fact,
What
I witnessed my path getting
what world does that work?
shills, paying their bills by my comments. But
She gave birth to 27 confinements. Or she gave birth in 27 confinements. She gave birth in 27 confinements? What the fuck is that? To 16 pairs of twins, 7 sets of triplets, and 4 sets of quadruplets. 67 survived out of the 69 births. Man, that's amazing. That is amazing. You only lost 2 in that whole stretch? Oopsie. Forgot to turn the switch on.
Just admit you're a pill. The other pill's much worse.
The names of the children, along with their dates of birth and death, are all unknown. But she had them. Trust us. She totally had all those kids. None of their names, none of their birth dates or death dates are known. But just trust us. Why would anyone lie? Are you saying that you're suggesting that she lied? What would be her incentive to lie? I mean, she's the only woman from her time and village and area and all that anybody talks about still in 2026, but I don't understand what she would lie for. Calculations tally that Basilia was pregnant for a total of 18 years throughout the 40 years. What?
But to you, that's all fine compared to me simply yelling at clouds.
And that's it's roughly every 2 years. So when people try to suggest that, where they were having children at a higher rate than that, you're just foolish. According to documents published in Quadruplets and Higher Multiple Birth by Marie M. Clay, Valentina Vasiliev lived to be 75 years old and died in 1782, Shuya Ivanov Oblast, Russia, the same year as her husband. That's convenient. Don't waste Bible stuff on this guy. He doesn't believe. He's trying to save our planet from these preds, so I think he thinks God would allow this, but who knows anymore? I'm just chilling, trying to learn. Yeah, but you're not, though, are you? Because learning means you're willing to be wrong. And at some point, you have to understand that your whole fucking foundation of your shit is not just wrong, it's dumb. It took me to the old live, that's funny. I mean, your entire identity is wrapped up in this shit. You have your name, your profile name is them. Inked up Jesus. It's fucking stupid, man. And I would imagine because you have your entire identity wrapped up in it, you have a much harder time admitting it's wrong, because that would be admitting your entire shit is wrong. These commenters are painful. I mean, what are you going to say if you're opposing the truth? It's going to be painful. It's going to be painfully stupid. The first complete account recorded of the 69 births was reported in Moscow by the monastery of Nikolisk on February 27th, 1782. There's as much of a narrative around this broad as there is around the broad from 2016. So a second ago I had 5 viewers and 3 likes. Now I have 0 viewers and 3 likes. I do have somebody fucking crying, spam commenting, crybaby. But at the end of the day, if somebody is searching Guy Williams, they're probably not going to find me. Matter of fact, those that even know to look for me, like Matt said, gets taken to a different feed. But ask yourself, why is there some random person here trying to convince people that, no, don't watch this feed. Don't watch this. Look, my name is Jew Hunter. I'm a good guy, see? And look, I promise, I'm on the good side. Joined 12 years ago, have 12 subscribers. Gosh, that's strange. The 6969 proves it. Well, the stupidity proves it. When you see people doing things that, like, you're like, what normal human would do that? Think about the energy, the effort it takes. Why would you do that? How many of you make fake pages to watch somebody you don't like and then try to convince other people that are on the feed to go watch something else? Don't watch this guy. Don't watch this guy.
Doctors are pure and love when you ask them to explain how a napkin once used to catch snot isn't a trap when they tell you it's not. It's like
the first one account appeared in 1783 issue of The Gentleman's Magazine. The author wrote, in an original letter, now before me dated St. Petersburg, August 13, 1782, O.S. Fyodor Wasiliev, age 75, a peasant, said to now be alive in perfect health in the government of Moscow, has had by his first wife 4 times 4, 16, 7 times 3, 21, 16 times 2, 32, 27 births, 69 children. By his second wife, 6 times 2, 12, 2 times 3 equals 6, 8 births, 18 children. I mean, it's strange that back then so many people were capable of having twins and triplets and shit like that. Like nowadays, that's rare, even though there's supposedly a lot more people. Don't you think that's weird? The account was published again in a 1788 commentary on Russian history and in the 1834 book by Alexander Pavlovich Beshutsky, St. Petersburg Paranormal. I always love when they like to think about what resources people had back in 1788, the commentary, 1834. What he just happened to have this random account of this random couple in Russia that had, like, it's just weird. We're talking about basically people having an internet long before there was an internet. There have been made suggestions that the account has been misrepresented over time. Some have proposed that the husband fathered that many children but had multiple wives over several years, who were only referred to as Mrs. Velasivia. Medical debate. Although Guinness World Records confirms the births, how? Many in the medical world have doubted the possibility in 1700s Russia, a period of history in which data reveals over a quarter to nearly half of all children died in infancy, and this woman had 67 of 69 survive. Director of the division of the Division of Reproductive Science and Women's Health Research at Johns Hopkins University, James Seegers, said in a BBC interview, "In the past, every pregnancy was a risk to the mother's life. Even if you had 4 sets of quads today, I'm not sure they'd all survive, or you would survive." Northeastern University professor Jonathan Tilley additionally points out that it is highly unlikely for the time that Vasiliev could have had so many multiple births, even just 16 sets of twins. I'd be shocked. Well, considering it doesn't happen now, really, it is sort of a dead giveaway. There are supposedly so many more people nowadays than there were back then, so the likelihood that you would have all these children and they would all survive is just silly. Author Marie Clay writes, "Sadly, this evasion of proper investigation seems, in retrospect, to have dealt a terminal blow to our chances of ever establishing the true detail of this extraordinary case." I mean, it's dumb. It's just dumb. An article in the 1878 issue of the Lancet stated, "The French Academy of Sciences attempted to verify the statements about Vasiliev's children and contacted M. Konnikov of the Imperial Army of St. Petersburg for advice as to the means they should pursue, but were told by him that all investigation was superfluous, that members of the family still lived in Moscow, and that they have been the object of favors from the government." What the fuck does that mean? Alleged photo. Photo of unknown woman circa 1840, misassociated with Valentina Vasiliev. Look at this fucking monster. Look at that monster. Look at her face. Look at her eyes. An alleged photograph of Valentina Vasiliev has been accompanying her story for the story of her multiple births online for several years. However, since Vasiliev died in 1782, that's what I was wondering. How did we have a photograph of her? Some 44 years before the first photo was taken in 1826. You guys know that, right? The first photograph was taken in 1826. And to think that we had photographs before we had cars and telephones and all that shit. Like it's really just weird, right? I mean, think about that. I've always thought photographs are just fucking insane. How do they get the music or the sound and the images to stick to VHS tapes? Talk about crazy. How do you do that? How did we learn to do that? And then with VHS tapes, it's not like you even, it's this really, difficult process. You could actually click a little button on the top of your videotape, VHS tape, And that then allows it to be recorded on. And you can just record over the stuff that's already there. Sound and images. Isn't that fucking weird? DMT is pretty weird. It turned the graphics off and everything had PSD graphics. That's interesting. Welcome back. Never heard from you. What a surprise.
Have you tried what in the world and why in the world are they spraying? Have you heard the experts say...
You mean microchips? Wouldn't that be a bad thing? These say microchips, right? Another photograph attributed to Vasilyev and her children began circulating the internet in 2012 when the website Top 10 Lists incorrectly captioned the image. According to the fact-checking website Snopes, the photograph is actually from 1904. Huh? Utah, depicting Joseph F. Smith, the 6th president of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, posing with his multiple wives and children. This is the thing that you don't get, right? Most of the shit that exists like this is just that, yeah. I'm not the cone police. So Fyodor Vasilyev, that's the guy, or Theodore, 1707 to 1782. Isn't that her exact fucking birthday too? Was a peasant from Shula. His first wife, Valentina, is said to have lived to be 76 years old, and between 1725 and 1765 had 19 children. They're saying this girl had kids up until she was 58 years old. Women can't have children at 58 years old. Come on. Come on. Bullshit. This was the 1700s, so Down syndrome doesn't exist yet. It does. There's literally no mentions of it. There's no there's no stories of it until the Downs guy came up with it in the 1860s, 70s, 80s, something like that. No, nobody talked about it. There was no... It would exist, you know. It would exist. People would have talked about it. You know, especially with as advanced and scientific as we were back then, you know, you would think people would have been... Survived infancy with the loss of one set of twins. This is the world record. For the most children born to a single woman, however, their names, dates of birth, and dates of death are all unknown. He's said to also have had 18 children with his second wife. When did he have a second wife? That part sort of left out. 18 children with his second wife, 6 pairs of twins, and 2 sets of triplets. Because he just happened to... Like, seriously, do you understand how crazy that is to think that he found 2 different women capable of having triplets? Not just twins, but triplets. You can't say that's on him. It's the egg that does it. It's not the sperm. At least that's what they tell us. Well, So there's actually more about her than there is about him. You can't find anything about him or his second wife or anything like that. So, like I say, the number one, the most number of kids is 69 by the Vasiliev family from 1765. The second most is from Mr. and Mrs. Kirillov in 57, or with 57 kids from 1755. Now, this one, there's no blue, so we don't know anything here. It's just going to say the first wife of peasant Yakov Krylov, or Kirillov, from the village of Vidinsky, Russia, gave birth to 57 children in a total of 21 births. She had 4 sets of quadruplets, 7 sets of triplets, and 10 sets of twins. All of the children were alive in 1755 when Krylov, age 60, was presented at court. As with the Vasiliev case, the truth of these claims has not been established. I mean, it's fucking silly. It's just fucking silly. What was going on in Russia? Why were Russians making so many kids? How? It just seems like a fucking goofy story. I just can't imagine a woman's body surviving that. 7 sets of quadruplets? Or 7 sets of triplets? 4 sets of quadruplets? That's stupid. The DMT entity, huh? Why do you still smoke cigarettes? That's fucking stupid. So the next one is 53, and that's Barbara and Adam Stratzman, 1498. Barbara Stratzman, born around 1448, died in 1503, from Bonningen, is said to have been the mother with the most children in the area of present-day Germany at the time of the Holy Roman Empire. This woman, who was called the Skomotzerin because of her birth name, is said to have had a total of 53 children with her husband Adam Stratzman, died in 1504, all of whom died young. Historical sources. The child miracle of Bonningham is described in written documents. On St. Thomas Day, December 21st, in 1498, the notary Friedrich Dümling from Wimpfen recorded the, quote, true historia of the Skomotzerin, abundance of children. I hereby confess with my handwriting that I have heard all this from this woman myself, and thus also written. Oh, well, that makes it true. In the 1498 record, Barbara Stratzman told how the number of her 53 children was made up. According to it, she was pregnant 29 times and gave birth 18 times to singletons, 5 times to twins, 4 times to triplets, once to sextuplets, and once to septuplets. Septuplets is 7, right? 7? Septuplets is 7, Chubby? You understand that women that get pregnant like that in modern day times, with all of the advancements that we have, the medicines, hey, why should you have my shit? Okay. It keeps kicking you off. What's wrong with your stream, bro? It's not. I don't do it. Why do you think that happens? There you go. That's a great question. Talk about this stuff all day. Obviously, it's not something you're used to. It's not something that happens to you very often. I'm in, the suburbs of Detroit. I'm surrounded by fucking cell phone towers. Multiple cell phone towers within miles of my house. Other than interference and censorship because they don't want me gaining. Explain why I have 5 viewers, 5 likes, 2,700 subscribers, and you keep getting kicked off of my feed in ways that doesn't normally happen to you. I don't do it. They're fucking with you. They're fucking with me. I mean, it's nothing. It's nothing. It's just, yeah, I don't even know what to say. Like, it's my modem. I have dial-up, so that's why. Or maybe it's your shit. That's what it is. 19 children were stillborn. The oldest child lived to only be 8 years old. Well, that's just fucking gross. Sometime between 1500 and 1525, the late Gothic painting of the Protestant, Syria Kuskirch, Cyriakuskirche. Good luck with that. Of Bonningham was created, which depicts the Schmutzerin and her husband with their 53 children under the birth of Jesus in the stable at Bethlehem. Oh, so it's fake. It's fake. Banners state the year of the death of the woman and her husband, while a poem praises the wealth of the children born to Barbara Stratzman, who had, quote, 38 legitimate sons and 15 daughters, totaling 53 in one marriage. It goes on to say there will probably never be another woman like her in all the lands and kingdoms. In 1509, Emperor Maximilian, 1459 to 1519, wow, who was staying in Weihingen an der Etz and Stuttgart at the time, requested a report from the town of Bonningham, about the Schmutzmördern, blessing the children, which someone had informed him about. He received the desired reply on June 29th of that year, the wording of which is unknown. This isn't one that they just kept forever. There you go, it just happened again, and it's like you got lines going across your screen. What's weird is it should be pixels, not lines. It shouldn't be anything. Why would I have any sort of interference whatsoever? Why would this happen to you? You know. Like it's what do you think it is? The guy that consistently tries to get people to pay attention to Mishnah Nada 5:4 tells you that the genocide is the distraction. You know, the guy that tells you about metzitzia and tries to unify us under one large Goyim banner, one unified Goyim banner. Why do you think that guy is the one that has these weird things happen to them? Truthfulness of the report. It is unclear to what extent the account is correct. Herman Krieg, head physician at the Municipal Gynecological Clinic in Helebron, contradicted the historical account in an article in Helebron in May 1990. He based his opinion on the statistical occurrence of multiple births, the complications to be expected in the context of multiple pregnancies, and the medical conditions of the time, which made it unlikely that a woman would survive. There you go. Alright, so that's... And it's strange, too, how, like, nobody... The 1700s was the hot time, and it's only a 10-year span. And then 1498, and then we go to the modern day babery in 2016 with 44, but then 42, Elizabeth and John Mott in 1720. Elizabeth Mott of Monks Kirby, Warwickshire, married in 1676 and produced 42 live-born children. She died in 1720. There are not good records for this, as it was in the 18th century. Yeah, you'd think. 41 by Alice Hoax in 1553. According to the inscription on the gravestone in Conway Church Cemetery in Gwynedd, North Wales, Nicholas Hoax died 1637, was the 41st child of his mother Alice Hoax. And that's all. In 1681, Elizabeth and William Greenhill had 39 children. They have a page. Elizabeth Greenhill and her husband William. You can't even imagine how much it's bugging me to do this right now. To not be talking about Mishnah Nadah 5:4. You know, if you rape a little girl and she's 3 years and 1 day old, she's now your wife. You know how they believe things. To not be talking about it and to be talking about obviously fake bullshit is really irking me. But this person just said, Y-O-U-R, a complete moron. Oh, I love it. And this is a Jew. This person is an admitted Jew. They come here every day crying about what I say, but they've already acknowledged to being Jewish, and they can't even get their yours right, while calling me a moron. Your, Y-O-U-R, a complete moron. That is just so fantastic. Anyway, Elizabeth Greenhill and her husband William Greenhill were the parents of Thomas Greenhill, who was reported to be the last of the 39 children that the couple had. The family consisted of 7 sons, 32 daughters. Yikes. Only 2 of them were twins, which is unusual, as the most common cause of such large number of children, hyper-ovulation, typically manifests as multiple births. According to a letter in the Gentleman's Magazine, we got another one from the Gentleman's Magazine. In 1805, there exists, preserved on the back of a small portrait identified as that of Mrs. Greenhill, mother of Thomas Greenhill, the following words. Similar words, according to Notes and Queries in 1852, are also inscribed in a copy of Thomas Greenhill's The Art of Embalming. Ew. She had 39 children by one husband. They were all born alive and baptized, and all single births save one. The last child, who was born after his father's death, was a surgeon in King Street, Bloomsbury, and wrote the above book, which he was desirous to bring into fashion. She was heard to say by a credible witness, with whom I, the person whose signature attests this, was well acquainted, that she believed if her husband had lived, she might have had 2 or 3 more children. Signed, Richard Ashby, a clergyman. Oh, well, fucking A. We know that clergymen don't lie. I'll catch you later when I don't get knocked off as much. Well, that's what you're supposed to say. Right? That's why this happens. You could go, it would be a lot easier for you to give your attention to somebody else. So that's what they want you to do. And, I can't say I blame you, but it is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to get frustrated and go somewhere else. So you're letting them know that their efforts are not in vain. Reflecting this unusual circumstance of birth, he was granted a version of his father's coat of arms in 1698 that commemorated, quote, his being the 39th child of one father and mother. It consists of vert, 2 bars of ermine, in chief a lion, passert gardant, or, and then that's the end of the quote, and a demi-griffin for its crest, differentiated by 39 mullets. Its motto was Annos aut artes, or honor nourishes the arts. That is fucking weird. Oh, this is about Thomas, so this is Thomas. Thomas Greenhill, line engraving from 1705. He looks just like, what's his name? Isaac Newton. Literally, just like it. He was a surgeon who worked in London. Can you imagine? Okay, so his birth was in 1669, maybe, and he died in 1740. We don't know when his actual birth year is, like so many. Who worked in London and was also author of a book in Greek, literally Dead Funeral, or The Art of Embalming on Embalming. He was also surgeon to Henry Howard, 7th Duke of Norfolk. He was born after the death of his father, William Greenhill, the last of 39 children born to Elizabeth Greenhill. I mean, it's so funny to think about it. Like, to try to walk around like that today with your hair all big and floofy and, the frilly outfits and all the different layers, that would be difficult by today's standards. How did they do it back in the 1700s? According to the Oxford Dictionary of National Biography, most of the most basic details of his life are a matter for conjecture. Of course they are. Essential parish papers have been mutilated. Papers concerning his family shed no direct light on his education, practice, family, or death. This lack of record seems to be due to the discontinuing of recording of baptisms and other records when Cromwell was empowered during the Commonwealth following the English Civil War. Crazy how they called it that. The Dictionary of National Biography observes that, quote, he was born after his father's death, probably at Abbots Langley, Hertfordshire, as his father died there. He then lived in King Street, Bloomsbury, in London. His father was William Greenhill, secretary to General Monk, and his mother was Elizabeth Greenhill, 1665 to 1679. We know her shit, but not his, huh? In Harrow, in Middlesex, and Abbots Langley. This is supposed to be the section on his life, but nothing there. The reason they say that is because they're Jewish, and they don't like that I keep exposing their pedophile nature. It's actually really simple. Right? The last thing they want, just like they fucking with your feed. They're who's fucking with your feed. They don't want people here. They don't want people hearing what I'm saying. Especially the stuff about Mishnah, Nada, 5-4, metzitzia, and soul correction. They don't want people to understand that it's okay that they speak out against these people. What's up, Weird Beard? Or Wild Beard, I mean. You know, the thing is, you'll notice that I don't shy away from answering questions. And the answer I give you makes sense. You know, try to get the same thing from those who are against me, and you're not going to find it. It's just a bunch of crybaby trying to get people to, feel guilty or shit. I need to so it's out there working. His book, The Art of Embalming, we're in Ishun. The rite of burial and funeral ceremonies, especially that of preserving bodies after the Egyptian method, was published in 1705. Its main concern was to advocate the importance of embalming for the burial of aristocracy and make it a task limited to surgeons and not undertakers and quacks, in parentheses. The argument is based upon appeals to an antiquary, Greek and Roman classics and scripture, and takes the form of 3 letters. The first to Charles Bernard, surgeon to Queen Anne. The second, John Lawson, the former president of the Royal College of Physicians. And the third, to Hans Sloane, secretary of the Royal Society. Its dedication is to Thomas Herbert, 8th Earl of Pembroke, the same person who was the dedicatee of John Locke's an essay concerning human understanding. Wow, must not have been a lot of people around at the time. Projection. Speaks the truth, and they can't handle it. It's true. It's very true. Yes, I absolutely hate you because you're a cult member. Like, do you hate me because I'm a pedophile? Yes, I hate you because you're a fucking pedophile. I want you to be eliminated, eradicated. I don't think there's any room for you on this planet. Well, I don't understand why that's so hard for you to understand. There's good and bad in every race. Well, they're not a race, so your argument is moot here. We're not talking about a race of people. Or pretend that you, because you have European converted Jewish name. Yep, I'm rambling, yapping, all rambling, yapping, all those things. I love how they act like there's nothing else they could be doing, right? Like somebody's making them be here. We are a race. Look it up on Google Moron. What's Google Moron? You can't be a race if people can convert to your thing. It's an identity. You can't convert your race. I can't just start walking around squinting my eyes and speaking in a horrible stereotype saying, oh, look at me, I'm a Chinese now. And everybody has to accept the fact that I'm Chinese. It doesn't work that way. However, if I were to start, celebrating Jewish blah blah, I could then say I was Jewish and there would be nothing anybody could do about it. Right?
They kick out your stilts, then laugh when you fall. They destroy what you've built and stab at
The
your
race card.
made to be taught to protect
The
your
way he speaks concerns me. He's projecting.
so much destruction.
Projecting what?
Lust and a night of not thinking.
It's amazing how you're more concerned about me supposedly projecting than Mishnah Nada 5:4. Like I'm making something up.
Not for that fact, I bet there'd be
I'm quoting the Talmud. What are you talking about?
as a class, none of us would be seen as worthy to copy our copy. Our kids are so blurry.
The book had the effect of dismissing. It has, however, been described as providing rich evidence on attitudes of death at early 1800s. So there's literally nothing about the actual embalming. It's just about, like, people talking about it, I guess.
Look around and explore the disaster you did not make a bastard with. There's no Maury. Their absence of laughter sounds great in the morning. And those of you adoring
So that was the Green Hills, 39. 35 children, Mr. and Mrs. Harrison, 1736. Miss Harrison, the wife of an undertaker residing in Very Street, London, gave birth to her 35th child by one husband in 1736. That's it. There's no way you don't get to look at it anymore. We have Mary and John Jonas, 33 children in 1892. Mary Jonas, 1814 to 1899, gave birth to 33 children, including 15 sets of boy-girl twins. All were christened, but few reached adulthood. 10 children were still alive when their father John died in 1892. Again, it's just so funny, these goofy ass arguments. He's a bad guy. He's a bad guy because he's telling our secrets. Why is he telling everybody about our stuff? Why aren't you talking about Muslims? Talk about Muslims. The weird thing is that there are that's different than other streams, is the individuals in here chat against each other. And then I'm only trolling each other, and that all seems weird. No, some are real people, some are act.il. I mean, if this is your first time here, you've got a lot to learn. But it's all explainable. act.il/riseapp, RISEAPP, capital APP, one word, it explains everything. It's literally what's going on here. You know what? I'll take a quick break and just explain it to you real quick. You seem to be trying not to understand, so. Act.il is a social networking service used by supporters of Israel to oppose online, quote, anti-Israel content, such as the Boycott, Divestments, and Sanctions Movement, BDS. Its activities were referred to as, quote, an online propaganda campaign and, quote, a virtual situation room of pro-Israel experts. This is the important part. Act.il directed its users to missions to like, comment on, and share pro-Israel material on social media. It also asked users to flag, report, and respond to criticisms of Israel. Users were guided how to respond, which might entail writing a reply using the provided talking points. That's why they all say the same dumb shit, right? It's much more obvious than you want to make it out to be. The app also provided users with ready-made memes for them, memes promoting Israel's perspective for them to share. By completing missions, users earned points, unlocked badges, and had their scores displayed on leaderboards. Right? It's really actually a lot more. It's a lot easier to understand. It's a lot like people want to make it out that the conspiracy is some crazy supernatural, super complicated. But it's not. It's all really easy. Really sad to take the FU on every long butt clawing. All right. Let's see. So then we have 33 children by Modi and Purcell Oliver. Miss Modi May Oliver, age 50, wife of a Lumberton, North Carolina sharecropper, was expecting her 33rd child in 1959. At that time, 22 of her children were alive. But we don't get any. Can't. She's not blue. We can't see her. Maria Aderlada Casanelli, or Casalini, 32, 1970. Miss Casalini, born 1929 in Brindisi, Italy, married at 17, gave birth to her 32nd child. On November 11, 1970, she had 2 sets of quadruplets, 1 set of triplets, 1 of twins, and 19 single births. Only 15 children survived. Madalena and Raimundo Carbanuba, 1961, had 32 kids. Brazil, married at 13 and gave birth to 32 children, 24 sons and 8 daughters. Maria Benita Oliveira, 32 kids in 1989. San Juan, Argentina, gave birth to her 32nd child on the January 31st, 1989. All children were believed to be alive at the time. She was married twice, gave birth to a set of triplets when she was 13. What? She later gave birth to 2 sets of twins. Like, these are stories I just don't believe. What kind of name is Firestone? Look at this. Now this dumbass is, like, again, they can't stand proudly for their own thing, right? They can't stand against what I'm saying and debunk what I'm getting wrong or explain why they're the chosen good people and, why we should accept their supremacy and be the 2,800 slaves that they all think they should have. They don't address any of that shit. They just start crying, especially if people happen to agree with me or whatever. It's like a crybaby fest. It's really, really strange. And it's not something you would expect to find on the page of somebody that's wrong. Somebody that's just spreading porky pies, What a jamoke. I'm being attacked and said nothing that was Why are you asking them? Do you think the bad guys tell you that they're bad guys? No. I'm telling you exactly what's happening. They're not denying it or contradicting me, and yet you still don't know what it is? And any idea that they're 16 or whatever, why would you believe anything these dumbasses say? They're friars. They're child rapists. They rape children. Like, they're awful, awful human beings. I'm done with the child thing, the multiple birth thing. We'll go to, just in case anybody's not understanding what's happening here. That micro penis, man. So Mishnah Nada 5:4 is the Talmud, right? Here it is in Hebrew. What it says: a girl who is 3 years and 1 day old, whose father arranged her betrothal, is betrothed through intercourse. as the halalchic status of intercourse with her is that of intercourse in all halalchic senses, meaning ownership takes place. Once he selects her, once he says, ooh, that's a sexy little 3-year-old, he rapes her with his micro penis. As long, again, as she's 3 years and 1 day. If she's less than 3 years and 1 day, it's nothing. It's a wash. No consequences, nothing. Actually, you'll find out later, the hymen grows back, apparently. But if you never break it because you have a little micro penis, it really doesn't matter, I guess. And in the case where the childless husband of a girl 3 years and 1 day old dies, right, because he's like 60, 50, 60, 70, whatever. She's 3, 4, 5. She can't have kids until she's at least 13, for the most part. You might get the random 12-year-old or something, but for the most part, it's 13. But he's already selected her, but he dies. He's in his old, he dies. If his brother, the Yavam, engages in intercourse with her, he acquires her as his wife. And if she is married, a man other than her husband is liable for engaging in intercourse with her due to violation of the prohibition against intercourse with a, quote, married woman. And if the girl is less than that age, younger than 3 years and 1 day, the status of the intercourse with her is not that of intercourse in all halalchic senses. Rather, it is like placing a finger into the eye. Just as in that case the eye constricts, sheds tears, and then returns to its original state, so too in a girl younger than 3 years and 1 day old, the hymen returns to its original state. Now, if you aren't actively, at the very least, suggesting that shit is eliminated, aren't you just as bad as those doing it? You only have 6 likes for a reason. Yeah, it's called censorship. 6 likes and 6 viewers. 2,700 subscribers. Yeah, let's make it make sense. I gotta go pee-pee, so hang on 1 second. Oh, God.
Present a story that's totally not a metaphor for the standard official allegories sold to the goy like Betty Ford. A place where well-known pedo score and Goyim disappear. Like CPS, the brain dead ignore the truth based on the beer. Scooped upon your peers through manufactured news. The story may seem weird, but following the clues, you'll see Goy Nachio's abuse and you'll blindly be persuaded. Yet if something I said isn't true, wanna be debated. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam.
You'd rather lobsters on your organ than Mr. You'd rather lobsters on your piano. If I give you all your, you look like logic to a Mormon. See, you are nothing more than a tiny inconvenience. TBG had the high score when you showed off your micro penis. What you doing, little guy? Tail all fluffy. Oh, have you debated? That seems to be the case. I mean, there's nothing to debate here. I know what the score is because I'm reading what the fuck it says. It says it. There's no questioning. There's no, misunderstanding. They love to say that I'm taking things out of context. And yeah, okay, so put it in the context. Please put in raping a 3-year-old girl and then calling her your wife. Put that into context. Go figure, they have nothing to say. People are watching but not commenting due to rats infecting the chat line. Guy understands. So if you agree with his statements, hit the like and subscribe. And no problem standing up for people like, everyone unlike and unsubscribe. He is a horrible person. Again, who's going to call me the horrible person for suggesting we kill pedophiles? Who also happens to be Jewish. By the way, in the case of a boy 9 years old, 9 years and 1 day old, whose brother had died childless, who engaged in intercourse with his Yivama, his brother's widow, the status of the intercourse is that of halalchic intercourse, and he acquires her as his wife. Which means if she's 40, he's 9 years and 1 day old, he engages in intercourse with her, she's now his wife. But he cannot give her a bill of divorce, if he chooses to end the marriage until he reaches majority, which is 6 months after he is inspected and found to have 2 pubes, and he's 13. He's 13 years old, has his 2 pubes, and then 6 months later he's at majority.
Your silly boyfriend is not my problem.
And if he engages in bestiality, he disqualifies the animal from being sacrificed upon the altar, and the animal is stoned due to his act. You know, where they put the animal in a pit and they throw rocks at it until it dies. The only one who can shut me up is Guy. If he believes I need to shut up, then he has the right to burr. You are still a flea. Fleas are annoying and need swatting. Rituals are wild in all religions, I get that. But I think really in supporting this behavior, well, a mental illness. Exactly. But this is all, again, for you to have any sort of opinion, and this is your first time here, kind of arrogant, right? Because, everybody else that's here has been here for a while. Both sides of the argument. And weird rituals, there's nothing like this in other religions. There's some gross shit. There's some similar kind of sorta, but there's nothing like this. And this still happens to this day all over Israel and its proxies all over the world, like Lakewood, New Jersey. Like this is your arrogance in not thinking, or in thinking you have this understanding when you just don't realize it. Naomi Elkins is a great example of how these rituals happen in the United States and then they just get covered up. This is so much worse than you think it is. And I say it every single time. My main goal on this feed is to protect the Jewish children. You can call me all the ists and isms you want to, but I don't know anybody else, fighting for the protection of the Jewish children. Interestingly, the Jews come in and get mad at me for saying so, right? They don't come in here and debunk anything I'm saying. They don't come in here and explain it. This is a light feed for what it usually is, Usually there are multiple of them here, which just simple math tells you, if they make up 0.183% of the world's population, for there to be multiple of them here would mean I would have to have thousands of views. It would have to, for it to be a natural thing, for them to make up 0.183% of my population, that would mean I would have to have thousands of them here to supplement the numbers. But of course, that's not allowed to happen. And then when you know about act.il, Rise app, along with Team Jorge and other things, it makes sense. It's all about what makes sense. And Mishnah Nada 5:4 just don't make no sense. So good. It would be TOO, you uneducated fucking inbred dumbass. Right? This dumbass doesn't know the right your to use, doesn't know the right to use, because English is not his first language. This is the most positive feed online. This is the one feed fucking talking about how we fix the problem. You're, Y-O-U-R, a dumbass. There we go. Whether you're just trolling or you really are that stupid, either way, proving that my opposition has to be this stupid is only beneficial. I mean, I don't know why you would think it's a negative. We got him. We keep showing how stupid we are. He thinks we're inbred morons and we keep showing him. Oh, I'm sorry. He keeps showing us that we're stupid and we keep proving it. Is that better? Why is he coming on here exposing himself? Because of their arrogance. And because they're trying to get points. Anytime he can get somebody to engage with him, or he can, I don't know how the point structure works. I really don't. I've read the articles, but the articles don't actually give you any of the, the nuts and bolts of it. The Jewish Currents Call of Duty article, which will be in the description, explains it to you. He's trying to get points. He's trying to get badges. He's trying to get that favor. And so he comes on here with his fake profile, and he actually, so, fuck.
Yeah, baby. You don't want 10% of God's help, do you? You want 100%, right? Yeah. Pass the seat. Go ahead and pass that plate around. Welcome to the TBG, Tabernacle Synagogue of Holy Siddhartha, where we guarantee...
So this is the article. JewishCurrents.org. Call of Duty. An app called Act.il has adapted IDF communication strategy into a massively multiplayer online game. Nakba Day, the commission of it, blah, 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 the commemoration of it, blah, blah, blah. Same day, special mission appeared on the app and Facebook page of the online platform Act.il, directing its users to download a set of images and memes already cropped into Instagram-ready squares, then share them on social media under the hashtag #Key2Peace. Designed to disrupt and delegitimize the observance of Nakba Day, the memes were replete with racist and violent imagery of Palestinians, pictures of suited men transforming into terrorists, like this one. Photos of children dressed in camo and war paint. Hundreds of these images soon appeared online, posted and shared by everyday users, as well as prominent right-wing pro-Israeli activists like Israeli American Council co-founder Adam Milstein. Israeli officials, wealthy mega donors, and Zionist activists increasingly speak of an, quote, online battle for Israel. And this language of war is not merely a figure of speech. As it has moved online, Hasbara, the Hebrew term for Israeli propaganda pitched to foreign audiences, a key part of Zionist advocacy for decades, has come to include cyber initiatives that work closely in concert with Israel's military. Perhaps the most ambitious of these initiatives is Act.il, an app that has adapted IDF communication strategy into something like a massively multiplayer online game. Launched in 2017, Act.il sends its activists on, quote, missions to like, comment, and share pro-Israel material on social media and to flag, report, and respond to Israel's online critics. Users jump from platform to platform, countering criticism of Israel with talking points and images that reflect a right-wing Zionist understanding of Jewish and Israeli history, culture, and politics. The app encourages Israel supporters, and particularly Jewish Americans, to imagine themselves as soldiers fighting for Israel on the front lines of a vicious cyber war. In doing so, these supporters form a network with Israel's actual soldiers. The app CEO, Yarden Ban Yosef, is a longtime Israeli intelligence officer who told The Forward in 2017 that Act.il's developers work closely, if informally, with Israeli military and intelligence officials. The app's enthusiastic gamification of propaganda and its slick startup veneer mask the direct extension of Israeli militarism and surveillance into the diaspora Jewish communal life. Act.il emerged from the IDC, the Interdisciplinary Center, Israel's first private university, which is located in the city of Herzliya, at the heart of this country's high-tech Silicon Wadi, and has deep ties to the Israeli military and state apparatuses. During Israel's 2002 incursion into Gaza, the IDC established an emergency, quote, public diplomacy center to address concerns about the country's image. The center was revived 2 years later when the IDF killed thousands of Gazans during another military operation. Remember, Gaza doesn't have a military, right? Gaza doesn't even have a police force. In early 2023, they raided Jenin, I think it was Jenin, the camp with like 3,000 troops and all this military. They did so much, and they only ended up finding like 28 guns. All but like 6 of them were pistols, or all but 6 of them were hunting rifles. The 6 the 6 that they did find were pistols. They didn't find any real weaponry, nothing like that. It's just fucking crazy. There is no fight from Gaza. That's why the only pictures you ever see are people throwing stones at tanks, children throwing stones at tanks. Can you imagine how scared you would be to see a tank, knowing that they're just looking for a reason to kill you, and yet you're going to grab a stone and throw it at it? Like, you have to be... That's a special kind of resistance that most of us have no idea. Oh, what's up, dude? Watch out! During both campaigns, Israel's military overpowered Gaza on the ground. Yet despite these victories, IDC leadership, which includes former military generals, intelligence officers, and heads of state, continued to worry about Israel's reputation online, where eyewitness testimonies and videos by Palestinians and visiting journalists challenged the state's official narrative. To stem the tide of online criticism, IDC students, with the support of the Ministry of Diaspora Affairs and other state agencies, set up a, quote, situation room where, according to the campus magazine, volunteers worked around the clock, scanning headlines, posting comments, and responding to messages circulating on social media. The IDC quickly established the Situation Room as a permanent fixture of the university. With the help of U.S.-based pro-Israel organizations and software developers, it began exporting this aggressive communications model to the Jewish communities in the diaspora. Today, community managers and volunteers meet regularly in media rooms around the United States and trawl the internet for posts they deem anti-Israel, which they feed into the back end of act.il. These messages then become the basis for a sprawling online game. So I always break here to tell you, like, I can relate to this. So I don't play it anymore. The last game I played was called No Man's Sky, and it's this infinite exploratory game where you're a spaceman in flying in different spaceships and shit. You have your own spaceship. You fly around the planet. You fly around the solar system, different solar systems, and you explore the planets. You find resources, blah, 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 all these different things. But you go from solar system to solar system. You know, you zoom in on the sun. You warp to this solar system to that solar system, blah, blah, blah. Inside the solar system, there's a space station that you can call. When you fly inside the space station, you fly your plane inside it. You get out. You go to the mission. The mission hub gives you 4 or 5 missions you can pick from. You select a mission. It gives you a briefing. It gives you the reward. And if you click yes, I want to do this mission, when you back out of it and you get back into your ship and you go to fly out of the space station, if the mission is in the solar system you're in, you just fly to wherever it is and you do the mission. If it's in a different solar system, it will warp you to that solar system. Right? And then you go, you complete the mission, you find a planet, whatever the mission is, collect this, shoot this, do this, blah, blah, blah. Once you get the mission completed, you go back up to your space station, you go to the mission hub, you select completed mission, you get your rewards, and then you select a new mission. That's how that works. When new user wants to become a Hasbara soldier, they create an account on the app and undergo a training regime with encouragement from a YouTube narrator who explains how the app can, quote, upgrade your activism. Now imagine if this was China, this was Russia, this was anybody else. Training soldiers, training Americans how to be soldiers for Israel, for a foreign agent. That, of course, doesn't have to register as a foreign agent. And now their military is our military, which literally makes no sense outside of Israel is the 51st United State. It has been this whole time. They just haven't told us that. As bar troll, so they won't appear on the fan list. It's called gang stalking. Well, I'm telling you what it is. You tell me how it's not this. The app then offers a series of missions to complete. Tapping a mission brings the user to a briefing where they are presented with a short description and screenshot of the target, a social media post, me, and guidance on how to respond. Hey, we're going to talk about wasp spray today. Duh. Depending on the nature of the mission, this might mean writing a hostile comment or flagging a post as inappropriate, or it might mean sharing or upvoting an allied post. Act.il provides participants with talking points, but also encourages them to develop their own language, lest they be marked as bots by social media platforms. Take your meds. Take your meds. The user is then brought directly to the platform where the target appears. What's up, Karen? And carries out the operation. Finally, they can jump back to Act.il app to earn their reward. Users receive points for each completed mission, unlock badges for achieving certain objectives, and are ranked on leaderboards that display the top activists in any given month. I'm just not gonna. The rest is there for you to read. It's fucking stupid. It's fucking stupid. It's crazy that this works this way. Right? It's just crazy that it's this obvious that this dumbass in Michigan, this random dumbass in Michigan has it all figured out. Is it medication time? Yep, it is. It is. Wild Beard, you have a great day, my man.
We can do the impossible. We do it every day. The things once thought illogical, we prove and prove away. The lines we saw as nautical are now redrawn in space. Evolution's in your optical. Just look at your Chevy Chase.
Did you hear about the Zorro Ranch in Arizona? Yeah. Is there something new? See, when it comes to Epstein, it's really hard to drag me in. By the way, if you guys are watching, like, share, sub, help out. 6 viewers, 7 likes. Doesn't make much sense, but help out. Now, when it comes to Epstein, I'm well aware of the fact that I wouldn't know about Epstein unless they wanted me to know. Like, think about when Kanye got in trouble, right? Kanye has been saying crazy shit online forever. Kanye called on live TV during a really tumultuous time in our history, where MTV and everything was really like, hey, we gotta work together, yada, yada, yada. Kanye called the sitting president of the United States a fucking racist. George Bush does not like black people. And that didn't get him canceled. He didn't get canceled from that. But let him say, I'm gonna go DEFCON 3 on the Jews. Definitely a con number 3. Gotcha. And if you even look at his Hail Hitler song, it's now called Hallelujah. And like, it's the stupidest bunch of shit. Kanye's been replaced, or I don't even know if he's playing his part. But at the time when Kanye got in all that trouble, that's when they were putting Netanyahu, Bezalel Smotrich, Itmar Ben-Gvir, Avi Moaz, when they were putting in this coalition, this openly most racist, supremacist coalition. It's not racist, it's supremacist. Most supremacist coalition to ever govern Israel was put in place. And nobody was talking about it because first Kanye comes out and says what he says. And literally all he ever says, he makes a vague, fucking stupid threat. He threatens them, but it's stupid. I'm going to go DEFCON 3. So that's one. He says that he exposes this conspiracy and says that everyone in Hollywood, everyone in the entertainment industry has Jews in their contracts. Which again, unless it's something sinister, you don't really care if people know. It's like something to be proud of. Such a small number of people has such a control. Like if they were smart, they would have said, yeah, we've worked really hard behind the scenes to make sure everybody from any race, any creed, who has talent can make something of themselves and live a really great life, actually. And they have the opportunity to, because you don't just be famous. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, and yeah, we're actually heavily involved behind the scenes, and we're very proud of it. That'd be all they'd have to say, and everybody would just, they'd just be like, yeah, actually, I guess that makes sense. With Kanye, it's stumbling upon it. Nah. Kanye was just playing the role. Again, they cover up the worst thing with something that's really bad. So remember when Kanye did this, again, he said, he made the threat, he said the Jews thing about everybody, and he also said, I'm Semitic, I can say what I want, right? 3 things we aren't allowed to say. So Kanye was a warning to us. If you look at what came after that, right? Kanye was a warning to people like me, to people who go live and talk about it. The warning to the rest of the people that watch and maybe share the feed and stuff like that, well, that was Kyrie. Kyrie Irving, one of the best players in the league at the time, NBA. All he did was post a link, just a simple link. He didn't say anything, didn't even put the title down. The link was to a movie called From Hebrew to Negro, and it's about how the blacks are the original Jews. And I would have never known that had I not looked up what did Kyrie post, what link did Kyrie post, which is something endless people no doubt did. And they push that narrative, because what's that do? That strengthens Christianity. If black people think that they're the original Jews, instead of it's all bullshit, they're now trying to fight for their position as the original Jew. It's just dumb. It's dumb. But again, I would have never known about. I don't follow Kyrie Irving. You don't. None of us follow Kanye. The only reason we knew about Kanye or Kyrie or anything was because they told us to pay attention. And while they were putting their coalition in charge, every news agency around the world is talking about what Kanye said. And just in case you didn't get the message, Dave Chappelle just happened to be the host of Saturday Night Live the following Saturday and broke it all down for you. He started his opening monologue by reading a little piece of paper that said, don't worry, this is all for jokes. I support the Jews and I support them. Okay, everything is, I support you guys. And then the first thing he says is, I've been in Hollywood a long time, and one thing I know is that there's two words that you never say and anything good comes after it. And that is the and Jews. And his whole 12-minute set just had raucous laughter. Everybody was so into it, except for the one point where he said, I do have to say that you can't really blame black people for what happened to the Jews. When he said that, the entire audience went pin drop quiet. And then somebody went, yeah. And Dave went, he gets it. And then everybody started laughing again. But Dave talked about Kanye, and then he talked about Kyrie. Then he talked about Trump and how Trump's going to win the election. And then he ended with a little bit more Kanye stuff. Kanye's crazy. Okay? And that all happened in the same week. And while we were all distracted by that, the coalition was put in place. And that was that. Once the coalition got put in place, then the Kanye story went away. He had one more interview that was broadcast everywhere in which he didn't throw any Jews under the bus. He talked about everything everybody already knows. Beyonce and Jay-Z are Illuminati, and LeBron James and Michael Jordan, and he nothing but black people. That was the last big Kanye West interview for a long time. And then that story just went the fuck away. And at the same time, you had the UN talking about looking into Israel's occupation, because it was supposed to be a temporary occupation. But it looks more like colonization. So the UN was talking about opening up the books on Israel. And Israel literally said, well, the representation said, you can't open up the books on Israel. That will demonize Israel. If you look at what we've done, it'll make us look bad. So you can't do that. And then from around January up until October, the October 7th false flag, where no Israelis died or were taken hostage, outside of maybe the Hannibal Directive bullshit, but it was all just one big false flag. Every Saturday in Israel, they had a protest where the people were mad because the judicial branch and the executive branch weren't getting along. And basically, the executive branch was going to limit the power to scrutinize, which doesn't mean anything. Limit the judiciary branch's power to scrutinize. Means nothing. But apparently, every Saturday there was a protest throughout Israel where, they had porta potties and they had, rides, and it was basically a festival every Saturday. You know, you would see shit where, like, you know, they would make a big bonfire in the middle of a freeway and shut a freeway down. And the news would be like, look at these freedom fighters. Look at these freedom fighters standing up to what's going wrong there. Now, when black people do it because unarmed black men keep getting shot, well, they're thugs. But when they do it, they're freedom fighters. And throughout that year, this protest and this division was happening, and you had multiple Israelis. So, God, it's so hard to talk about any of this without putting it in context. So from 2019 to 2022, Israel had 6 different prime ministers. Because Netanyahu was in trouble, right? So it was Netanyahu, then it was Benny Gantz. Then it was Netanyahu again, then it was Naftali Bennett, who was prime minister from June of 21 to June of 2022. When he stepped down, sorta, he became like the black prime minister, the secret prime minister, I don't know. But Yair Lapid took over from June until November when Netanyahu's coalition came back in. And the reason why Naftali Bennett supposedly won, the main difference between Netanyahu and his opponents is that Netanyahu has been saying that all Israelis at 18 have to serve in the IDF. He was playing the long game. People just didn't realize it. And because we just passed legislation that says Israeli soldier pensions and health care and all that is now paid for by the United States. So anybody that served in the IDF has a United States pension, basically. And that's what Netanyahu was doing, was setting that up so all of the people had that United States pension. But it was, nobody realized it. So Naftali Bennett won because he said, no, we shouldn't have to fight anything. We should be able to live in our yeshivas and go to, do our studying, and that's what the Goyim are for. The Goyim are for fighting. So if we ever need any sort of interference or whatever, the Goyim will do it. And so leading up to October 7th, you had tens of thousands of Israelis signing petitions in protest of this limiting of the judicial branch's power to scrutinize. Their form of protest was that if there's any sort of fight that breaks out, any sort of upcoming, military, October 7th happens and then the subsequent genocide, well, we're not going to fight in it. We're deserting. That was the only way they protested. So obviously they knew October 7th was going to happen. And they were all like, hey, we're not going to fight in this. Just use the Goyim. And that's what they did. Tens of thousands of them, reservists, in protest, signed petitions saying that if just by chance, something that hasn't happened in a long time suddenly happens, well, we're not going to fight. And so, you had me in like April of 2023 telling you that Israel was going to do an October 7th type of bullshit and then commenced to genociding. And if they didn't do it by December of 2023, I would quit. I would stop making videos, stop making music, stop everything. Then on September 30th, the U.S. put Israel into the visa waiver program, meaning Israelis could travel to the United States without having proper, all the restrictions that normally come with that kind of shit. Basically, they become like Puerto Ricans or whatever. They can just travel through. They're a part of the United States, the visa waiver program, even though Israel wasn't meeting the requirements to do so. The requirements are a list of things. The main one being our people are allowed to travel there unmolested. And Israel had a long history of treating Palestinian Americans like absolute shit. And Israel was like, look, we're not going to fucking stop doing that. But the United States was like, well, we think you will, so we're going to give you another 6 months, 8 months to get it figured out. We're going to put you in the visa waiver program, and we just trust that in 6 or 8 months you'll get it figured out. The deadline actually ended. It was either the day after Passover ended the following year or the day before Passover started. Passover is when they always kill a whole bunch of people. This year was the last day of Passover. They did the 100 strikes in 10 minutes in Lebanon. Passover is a fucking spill blood on the ground ritual holiday. And it goes back to the Bible days of, well, not the Bible days, but the Bible narrative that they slaughter the lamb and then smear the blood over the doorstep, and so the angel of death knows to pass over the house while he goes around and kills the firstborn sons of all of the Egyptians. That's what the bullshit is, right? But this is, the try to find footage. Try to find footage that actually shows you October 7th. This is the most highly surveilled region in the region, highly surveilled area in the region. Cameras everywhere. The super cameras that have the facial rec technology and, surround people in either a green, outline, which means they're okay. Yellow outline means stop and question them. Red outline means arrest or execute on contact. They have the camera system set up everywhere. There is no credible footage of October 7th. The videos, the 2 videos that supposedly exist showing the kidnapping, those are just staged bullshit. It's obviously a production. It's really fucking stupid. You're loud and clear, it doesn't matter. Your intentions, just like it's cheerleading butter. They're just trying to change the subject. They're trying to distract you. If you're not following along and hearing the proof, I'm proving shit to you. I'm providing you with the truth here. And if they can distract you with their bullshit, they're succeeding. That's what they get the points for. This is how this works. No, that person is in Tel Aviv. Yeah. Their IP addresses continuously come back to Tel Aviv or Herzliya because that's where they are. That's what the fuck they're doing. Again, I don't know why you have such a hard time understanding that this is an operation. This is what they're doing because you don't see it anywhere else. Because nobody else is talking about it. If Ian Carroll told you guys to think this way, everybody'd eat that shit up. Because Ian Carroll also tells you to believe in Jesus. Ian Carroll has lots of following. He's allowed to have a lucrative page. At least he was. Has Ian Carroll shown up yet? Right? They're in Israel. They're in Israel or they're in Brooklyn, in New York. Or do you really think that I go live at 8:30 so they set their alarms for 5:30 so they can be here just to watch me every day? Come on. Yeah, it's like you forget previously what you messaged. It's not that they forget, it's they have a limited supply of things they can say. They've been given a limited supply of responses, like I read to you. The provided talking points. Why do you think they don't address certain things? Why don't they just address and debunk certain things? They hit a wall with the things they can say or that they've said, and then they just start repeating. Thor knows how to find it. Thor found those. Thor was here. He could tell you. They're in fucking. They're in. They're in Tel Aviv. It's not like I don't say this in jest or with some sort of like I'm not exaggerating or anything like that. This isn't hyperbole. This is the truth. It's the truth. Explain it some other way. Make it make sense in any other context. Alright, definitely. They're not harassing me. They're outing themselves. Like, harassing me would be some sort of negative. There's a reason why I allow them to be here. I'm God to them. I let them be here because they provide. They're beneficial to me. If they were some sort of negative or any sort of bother me in some sort of way, then I could just block them. Nothing they don't. I don't give them the power to bother me. Like, the only time anybody can ever bother you is if you allow them to. And what at the end of the day, these are fucking pedophiles. Do you really think I give a shit what some pedophile says to me? They can have the nicest house, car, fucking life in the world. If they're fucking children, they're less than me. I'm better than they are. Or if they are a part of a group that does, and they don't say anything against it. You could do whatever you want, you dumb clown. They know that they're pedophiles. They know that if they actually outed themselves, that's why they use fake profiles. With fake pictures and shit. Because they don't want people to find out who they really are. I mean, it's fucking ridiculous. I don't know why it's so coffee today. And they seem to threaten and attack. Exactly. That's all they have at this point. And usually it works on people. Usually they can fuck with people and they can get people upset and all that. It's this that bothers them so much. Their shit doesn't work on me. That's why they throttle me so much. Normally somebody like me, they let go because the other brainwashed fucking morons will fight the fight for them. But there's nothing anybody can say in opposition of what I'm doing or saying that even begins to make sense. So it puts them in a really fucked up position. Again, if you're watching, like, share, sub.
It's all Trump and fake. Scripted TV from the progress.
And they're here every day for hours. No matter how long I'm here, they're here.
Like it's supposed to be. The hopelessness and greed dominate the landscape. We're focused on the need while they control us using mandates. Claiming all should stand
I mean,
straight.
look at how fucking desperate they are. And what do you expect? They're inferior on every level. Every single one of these people has a micro penis. For real. Like, I'm not saying it as a joke. Imagine, like, you know the little dick thing, how it fosters so much racism and all that shit in our country. Imagine what it's like when you have a micro penis. When no matter what, you can buy all the gifts you want to buy. You can have the nicest car, the nicest house, whatever it is. At the end of the day, you know, and the thing is, you don't really care that you don't satisfy the woman, but you also don't like being laughed at. You want to see, like, you know that they don't care about women by their fascination with the bra and panties of the Palestinians. You know, there's so many pictures that have gone around of IDF soldiers raiding the house of Palestinians, finding the lingerie drawer, putting on the lingerie over their fatigues and taking pictures of it. They just can't understand why, like, you know, why would the women wear this, and who cares? And, you know, it's not about the enjoyment for the women. They know that there's no enjoyment for their women. Actually, they commit female genital mutilation. That's one of their things. It's called the Binding of Isaac ritual, but it's done to a lot of them. They don't care about the woman's satisfaction. And they all have these tremendous micro penises. It's like they don't have a good community. Because it's not their first language. Hebrew and Yiddish are their language. They're here in a working capacity. The tells are the difficult things. The yours, the twos, you know, the theirs. That's why they always get those wrong, because it's not their first language. And then they make up goofy shit to make themselves, I guess, feel better. I don't even understand it. Like, I would never sit here and make up goofy shit that can be debunked really easily. Like, it kills any credibility you have. And yet that's basically all they do. Instead of addressing what's actually being said and debunking anything I'm saying, they start just saying goofy shit. Trying to get points no matter what. You gotta focus on your own life. Right? Stop focusing on what we do. Focus on your own stuff. Who says that? Why are they so against me saying we need to protect the Jewish children? I mean, it's fucking crazy. So why don't they just fix their own problems instead of deflecting? Because they don't. It's not that they think they have problems. It's that they see that we aren't going to, like, we are waking up to it. You know, they don't care what we think. They've been doing their shit, you know. It's not like raping a 3-year-old girl is new. Like, it's not something that suddenly people aren't okay with it. People have never been okay with that shit. Nobody's ever been okay with metzitzia, with circumcision and then sucking on it. They didn't care. Nowadays, we care. And they know that there's that thing that says, the rabbi says, if the Christians and Muslims ever realized what we were really about, they'd unify and destroy us. Like, they know that shit. Look at it. Yep. I'm obsessed with it. I'm obsessed with preventing children from being raped. Gee, who do you think has an issue with that? He's definitely not said anything like, he's right, we need to protect the children, we need to kill pedos, and never says anything like that. I'm just the bad guy. On my nothing feed, only 4 people are watching. 4 people, 7 likes, 2,700 subscribers. All the people in the world talking about anything, and these guys are here, on my ass, every single day. Because, what? Go ahead, make it make sense. Typical use less than 6 words. They're pathetic. They're stupid. Like, it's one of the worst aspects of this, right? How is it that we are losing? How is it we are under the thumb of such a pathetic, like, inferior, stupid group of people? You've been told your whole life that they're so much smarter because of the movies and TV, and like anytime you see a rabbi, he's like this super wise rabbi. They're dumb as fuck. They're taken out of school at like 11 or 10 years old to go to yeshiva, where they then study one fucking book. You want to know how stupid they are? Look at that show, My Big Fat Gypsy Wedding, where the kids are all taken out of school at 11 and shit. 11, 12 years old. They can barely read. They're dumb as shit. And that's what all these people are. They're dumb as shit. It's if I wasn't correct, if I wasn't right, 1, why do they throttle me so much? And 2, why are any of them here? I only have 4 people watching, right? The idea that any of the 0.183% of the world's population would be here is ludicrous, let alone multiple. And if you do that math, if you say, okay, say there's 5 of them here, what is 5.183% of? That would be thousands and thousands of people would have to be here for them to just be here sort of naturally. Karen's been around for a while. Because Karen's been such an avid supporter. Karen's had interference and been fucked with more than you can even imagine, solely from, associating with me. She's always been somebody that saw things, but it wasn't until she started really pushing my shit that it got real weird. More often than me, I agree with it. Yeah. They're here more often than any of my fans. And from an A&R perspective, you have a guy that the people that hate me will watch me for hours. Do you really think that's not somebody that you could make a couple dollars off of? You're telling me that me not being one of the bigger truthers makes any sense whatsoever? Of course, again, all of the big truthers, the Stu Petersons, the Nick Fuenteses, the Ian Carrolls, the Candace fucking Owens, they literally all read the same script. They all tell you to believe in Jesus. They all tell you to blame Zionism. You can't blame the cult. You can't blame friarism. because they have some demish friends that are nice to their face. But it's the Zionism, it's Israel. They all say the exact same bullshit. It's Israel, it's Zionism, and Jesus is the answer. I think they are collaborating right now. The blind leading the visually challenged. Everything. You just it's something that's hard to accept. But if you believe in Ben Franklin and George Washington and shit, it's because they want you to. When you really start looking into the history of shit, it just doesn't. It's all just one big whitewash cover-up bullshit. And as soon as you stumble into the Tartaria stuff, you realize they're lying about fucking everything. Go watch Hollywoodism. That's the third link in the description. After the fact, of course. You'd have to go to a previous video to see it now. The third link in the description is Hollywoodism. It's a movie that they made in 1998 that tells everybody not how they created Hollywood, but that they created Hollywood. And that they used Hollywood to create the world they wanted to live in. Essentially, you could say the American dream is the Jewish dream. Said multiple times in the thing. But, you know, the subway system in both the United States and in Great Britain, both being, you know, thought up in 1894 and completed by 1904, opening the same time. Like, it's all just bullshit. Literally, the stories of our history are just bullshit. All of the great fires, and then the World's Fairs, and all of this. It's all just bullshit. They seem to step on eggshells once Karen steps in. No, they like attacking Karen. What's interesting, that 23 shows in your fans list, and really isn't showing participating in the comments like he's a ghost. When the Mad Scott. Yeah, no, they love attacking Karen because they know she sees it. And Karen's that Mad Scott. She's a hothead. So she can get drug into it. She loves talking shit. Man, they done with here. Well, they have to attack somebody. They can't do me. You know, they try attacking me, it just works against them every time. Every single thing they try to say works against them. Anyway, 6 viewers, 8 likes, 2,700 subscribers. Makes total sense. Go get your free download, www.the-bilderberg, bilderberg-group.com. It's free. When you click download, it'll ask you how much you want to pay. You click 0, and it's free. All we ask is that you share it with people. You can donate. We always appreciate those that donate. Don't get me wrong on that. But you don't have to. It's free. I give you the best presentation I possibly can. You know, I believe that the links that I provide you in the description of this video, if you check them out one by one, it will answer all of your questions and strengthen any argument you can make. You know, make you unstoppable. The first link, of course, the second link, of course, is Mishnah Nadah 5:4, so you can read it for yourself. 3 years and 1 day. Fucking gross. The second link is going to be Edom. See, look, we have liars. We have liars pretending to be, like, who pretends to be the most notorious pedophile in years? Who pretends that? Who thinks that's funny other than them? Right? Other than them. It's fucking obvious. So This second link is Mishnah Nada. Third link is Hollywoodism. Again, most important film ever made. Go watch it. It tells you why you think the way you do. Whereas the fourth link is to Israel Hayom, Bottom of Darkness, the most important article ever written, which tells you why they, these sick fucking pieces of shit, can exist and say, oh, your house was blown up. Oh, we took your land. Well, were you raped from the time you were born till you were 12 years old, and then at 15, 16, forced to rape a child yourself for redemption purposes? No, so just go get a new house. It's not a free $3.8 billion a year. We pay for that with our souls. It explains it all to you. It explains how soul correction is happening every 2 weeks after a Torah lesson, where the adults stand in a big circle naked, reciting psalms and reading fucking passages and singing songs and shit naked, while the kids are in a center circle naked, awaiting the rape. This happens every 2 weeks, all across, in all of their communities. So it's happening in Lakewood. It's happening in Curious Joel. You're just not privy to it. You hear about all the arrests that took place in Lakewood the other day? That's pretty good. And then there's links to Naftali Bennett telling you that Wikipedia is controlled by them and that everything in Wikipedia is balanced and Zionist in nature. There's a link to auto-emancipation, the founding document of modern Jewish nationalism, and especially Zionism, that says if Goyim don't agree to the supremacy, then we have a psychosis, a pathological disorder, and an irrational phobia, schizophrenia. Take your meds. It's all from 1882. It was written in 1882 anonymously. There's a link to the Havara Agreement, which completely destroys the World War II narrative. The Havara Agreement, the transfer agreement, signed in 1933 after Hitler was in charge, that paid for 60,000 German Jews to be transferred to Palestine, 10,000 per year, from 1933 to 1939. Right? It's all there. I provide you with the best information I can. I encourage you to either learn or, learn my arguments so that you can debunk them when you come here tomorrow, because you will be here tomorrow or later if I decide to go live again later. This is what you do. So like, share, sub, have yourself a great fucking day, and you pedophile pieces of shit, you kill yourself.